Okay.
Welcome to Saturdays with Tara. I'm Mary Beth at the Law of Attraction Club on the web at theloaclub.com. This hangout on air presents our theme for the week. If you're live with us on this hangout, you're welcome to join us on our conference line for our continued discussion after the hangout. Please dial in using the number on your screen. We'd love to hear your questions and comments. Our discussion of the theme for the week also continues on our open call each week on alternating Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're watching the recorded video, we'll be adding pop-up links with more information about us and our extended audio recording. Robin will be bringing through Tara for us today, so we welcome Robin and Tara.
We welcome you all to this discussion. And as always, for those of you who are new to the topic, we'll be discussing law of attraction fundamentals. At its most basic definition, it is what you choose to believe becomes. What you choose to believe about you is the you create. What you choose to believe about your world becomes the world you inhabit. Like the frames of a movie, it's a moment-by-moment creation. We'll be talking some more about that. We'll also be getting into some new ideas about applying that knowledge for those of you, and you know who you are, who now understand the fundamentals. So stay with us here. Let's begin. If you're wondering how to use the law of attraction, you can't. And the first step to learning how to reshape your life, to engage in the process of creating new things in your world, is to understand that. Our intent in this discussion is to be as clear as we can possibly be about who you are and what creates you and the matching context in which you find yourselves, so that you understand at a very fundamental level what the law of attraction is and how it works. And once we've got that established, then we'll get into the practical how-tos of making changes, of stepping into a world created by choice. Your world created by your choices. Do you ever wonder how to use the law of gravity? No, you don't, because gravity just is. You don't use the law of gravity, and you don't not use it. On your space-time virtual reality called planet Earth, gravity is ever present. It just is. It's pervasive. Similarly, the law of attraction just is, but more so. It's pervasive everywhere, in every realm, in physical realms and in non-physical realms like ours. It's even more than that. It's not just one of many cosmic laws, it's the cosmic law, and every other law derives from it. It's the mechanism by which everywhere and everything gets created. It's creating you, it's creating your world. And we recognize that to many of you, some of what we're getting into here will be a radical departure from the way you normally think about things. But just because it's unfamiliar doesn't mean it's complex. It doesn't mean it's impossible to get your mind around it. And we encourage you to sit with these concepts for a while, to allow yourself to get into the elegant simplicity of it all. We'll be coming to the nuts and bolts of it shortly. Let's start here. Think of yourself in front of a mirror. What you see reflected back to you is a matching image. When you move, the image moves. When you change, the image changes. And so it is, in a much more fundamental way, with the law of attraction. Everything you experience is a matching image of the essence of you. If you make a new choice and thereby step into a new version of that essential you, a new context appears around you, because you and your matching context, your world, are inseparable. So when learning how to use the law of attraction, the first thing to understand is the only way you ever change your world or your life or your anything is by changing that essential you. The good news about that is that you created that essential you in the first place, and you are the one and only conscious entity that can change it. You can think of it as comprised of a lifetime of belief choices. You can even think of some of those choices as having been made beyond this lifetime, but it matters not, because you're timeless, and those are all approximations anyhow. Just be clear that this thinking being that you are can make new choices at any time. Nothing is cast in stone. Everything is up for grabs. There is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. So the second thing to understand is that this consciousness that's you is always a choice about everything. So now let's look at what choices you previously made, then how you make new choices and how you make them stick. Think about the way you view you and your world. You have a whole tapestry of beliefs and assumptions and expectations. Some things are certainties. Some things are probabilities. Some are possibilities, and some are improbable or impossible. It's all of those elements that define the essential you. That fabric sets the boundaries around who you are and what you will experience. Those were all choices you made at one point, and you practiced those choices until they became the thinking habits that define you. So the third thing to understand is you don't examine the world and decide what to believe. Your choices create the world. Beliefs are always choices and are always the creative start of it all. Core beliefs may seem like things that are more absolute, but they're still choices. And most of those choices, once you've made them and practiced them and stored them away, you never think of consciously again. And most of them are serving you well. They set the stage upon which you are having your adventure. They define you and the game you are playing. Some of your past choices, however, are no longer serving you. Those are the ones that are holding you apart from what you now want. Those are the ones we recommend that you revisit and change. And now we're getting to the nuts and bolts we talked of earlier. And there's more good news. You have an emotional guidance system. Once again, it's very simple and very profound. When you feel good, you're heading towards what you desire. Whenever you feel bad, you're bumping up against one of those no longer serving you beliefs. And it's time to revisit and change it. So the fourth thing to understand is feeling good is key. Whenever you feel bad, it's time to change that thought habit. It's simple to do, but it may not be easy. It takes focus. Consciously, you may have decided you are now living in abundance or engaged in loving relationships or in a vibrant, energetic state of health. But back in that well-practiced tapestry of expectations, there may be another story going on. We recommend that you find a process like letting go that works for you and practice some new belief choices. Part of whatever process you choose will be the not kidding yourself part. Allow yourself to go within, getting back into that tapestry and feel around for what you truly, really expect right now. You will know. So the fifth thing to understand is you can always know what makes up that essential you. So if there's an old opposing belief lurking there, bring it into the light of day. See it for the made-up lie that it is, and then let it go. Then practice in your mind stepping into that new you and experience the beingness of that new world as it wraps itself around you. The world without that lie. The world you are now creating. The world that is exactly as you desire it to be. Appreciate yourself and your creative power. Appreciate your new world. Practice, practice, practice. Just be aware that you may be in the act of replacing a well-entrenched habit of thought. So focus is key. But each time you do this, you make a difference. Some things are entrenched, some things are easier. From Abraham through Esther Hicks this week. Could I think too little about my desire for it to manifest? Actually, no. Because as the contrast launches the desire, and then you do not offer any opposing thought, then you're letting it in and it will manifest. Many of our physical friends really believe that they must find a desire and then hold tenaciously to it. And we say, you do not need to do that. Let the variety of your life keep balance in your life. You just concentrate more on holding yourself in the good feeling place where you're letting it in. Are you beginning to get a feel for this? The reverse of you and the version of the world, the version of you and the version of the world you experience is a moment by moment now creation that matches the essential you. Time and space and earth and moon and stars and galaxies are your creation. People and plants and animals and trees and seas and rivers are your creation. The versions of everything that shows up in what looks like that world out there are a match to the essential you. If you make no change, the status quo prevails and the world carries on. You are creating by default. But as you change that tapestry, everything changes. So how to use law of attraction? Let's repeat here our 5 key things to understand. 1. The way you change your world is by changing that essential you. 2. This consciousness that's you is always a choice about everything. 3. Don't examine the world and decide what to believe. Your choices create the world. 4. Nothing is more important than simply feeling good. 5. By going inside, you can always know what's in that essential you. Think about that number 3 above, because your chosen beliefs define your expectations, and your expectations define what shows up. So it all comes down to this. Making a change in your world means choosing to expect the unexpected. It's simple, but not necessarily easy. You do it by knowing that you can. You can expect the unexpected. You don't have to base your expectation on what's likely or probable, because your expectations, once you choose them, however you choose them, rule the day. If you've spent a lifetime projecting from the past into your now, this may be the thing that's the biggest change for you. Just know that you can choose to expect whatever you want. You can get there by contemplation and meditation and expanding your awareness. You can get there by conscious choice. We'll get into this some more now in our longer discussion. But each of you has your own path, and each of you will find that path if you will allow yourself to know that you can. This is a big topic, and we welcome your questions.
If you've been live with us on this Hangout, our discussion continues now on our conference line. You're welcome to join us and bring your questions and comments. Use the number on your screen. If you're watching the recorded video, click the pop-up links on your screen for more info about us and the audio of the full call. And if you'd really like to change your life in the next 12 months, we have 2 fantastic programs you can join right now. Check us out at theloaclub.com/programs.